So, a group of Northeastern marine science researchers is right now in Miami participating in one of the coolest events since I've been here. It's called Mission 31, and it's a 31-day underwater expedition led by Fabien Cousteau. That's Jacques Cousteau's grandson, by the way. One of the Northeastern folks is actually living 24/7 under the sea with Fabien and his crew at Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is the last working underwater research habitat in the world. I had a fantastic time talking with this quote-unquote Aquanaut last week via Skype in one of the most fun interviews of my life. So let's take a look.
My name is Liz Bentley Magee. I'm Northeastern's diving safety officer, and I'm also the program coordinator for the 3 Seas program. And I'm participating in Mission 31 as the mission scientist.
Cool. Okay, so lots of questions already. What is Mission 31 and what is a mission scientist?
Sure, yes. Mission 31 is a 31-day project living under the sea in the Aquarius habitat down off of the Keys in Florida. And Fabien Cousteau is the project leader. He has assembled a team of both scientists and technicians and camera people to reach over 300 million people and basically study the sea, but also get the word out about ocean conservation and ocean exploration.
Cool. Okay. Well, so I'm going to ask questions about that in a second, but first I want to just kind of get to know you a little bit. So, how long have you been diving, and has this been a childhood dream for you? I mean, did you ever imagine yourself doing this?
I never really imagined that I'd get the opportunity to live in Aquarius, though the first time I heard about it was when I was at Northeastern undergrad doing the 3 Seas program. I was in Moorea, French Polynesia, and one of our TAs gave a really great presentation about his experience in Aquarius doing some research. And I thought to myself, oh, that's so extreme. There's no way that I'd ever be a diver with enough experience to be able to participate in that. And now I'm really excited to, finish up this mission and maybe give the same type of talk to future 3 Seas students and let them know that it totally is accessible and absolutely within their grasps.
Cool. So because you work with 3 Seas students almost exclusively now, right?
Yeah, yes, the program, I travel with the program and bring the students from Nahant to Panama to Washington State. It's really great.
Yeah, that's a pretty good job all on its own.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've talked about Aquarius a couple of times, but so far all we see is some sheets and some white behind you. So can you give us a little tour and tell us what is Aquarius? What is this thing and where are you?
Sorry for the background right now. We're a little bit crowded in here. But, so I'm standing in the bunk room, and there are 3 bunks on this side. Somebody didn't make their bunk. That's not appropriate, apparently. There's my bunk and 2 more. And then behind me is a really awesome viewport. Last night we had a giant grouper kind of staring in at us. It was fantastic. I don't know. She was just seeing if we were in there and wondering what was going on. It was pretty neat.
Wow.
This is kind of the command center. They talk to the watch deck. There's Brian right there. He's in tech. And there's Honor.
I'm talking appearance fee.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and there's Grace sitting at our little table. And Fabien making some hot chocolate. That's my hot chocolate.
Haven't we already seen each other today? And number 2, I'm stealing her hot chocolate.
That sounds good.
And here's Matt. He's the production crew.
So far I have only seen Matt's head, so hi, nice to meet you.
Did you see him in the water before? I don't know.
I'm just seeing head down.
Through, I think. And then back through here, there's the sink. Back through here, this is another work area. We have some really great technology happening here. There's some sonar that is out in the water column right now. And over here is the Edgertronic high-speed camera that has a one-of-a-kind housing. And it takes just some incredible films. Last night we were out filming Christmas tree worms, and this camera is so sensitive it can see the Christmas tree worm pulling into itself really slow mo. It can take over 1,000 frames a second. It's insane.
What's a Christmas tree worm?
It's a encrusting worm. It looks like a Christmas tree, which is why it's called that. It pokes its Christmas tree or its feeding apparatus out, and then when it gets scared, it pulls it in very fast. But with this camera, we were able to watch it over like a 10-second period. It was really cool. So I'm opening the door right now. It's like a Star Trek door. And walking into the wet porch. It's very humid and muggy in here and warm because the wet porch leads to...
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, so down there you can see some fish. That's where we go into the water, and there are the helmets that we dive off of, and our wetsuits are out there. There's our shower.
Ah, okay.
Conveniently right by the wet porch. Actually, just noticed I didn't hang up my swimsuit before. Everything kind of stays damp here, so try and get it as dry as possible.
Right. So you were describing earlier, so you're on the wet porch, you were describing earlier that it's kind of, that the whole ship is kind of like a bucket that's been turned upside down?
Exactly, yeah. So if you think about a bucket that you pull into the water upside down, it's got a pocket of air trapped in it that you can't get rid of. And that's what allows us to go in and out of Aquarius and maintain a dry bubble of air underwater. And I don't know if you can hear the gurgling in the background.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, so we keep a constant positive pressure inside the habitat with pumps, and that kind of pressure bubbles out periodically. It just bubbles up to the surface.
Does that help, I mean, you guys just living there? If you come up into this environment, you're breathing regular air, but it's a different pressure from what you're used to above the sea level.
Yeah, there are some slight differences. When I first got down here, I was shocked at how my ears kind of just kept popping. And also, what else? Oh, my voice is slightly higher than it normally is. It sounds normal to me now, but I know that it is higher.
So have your ears stopped popping? Have you kind of acclimated?
You acclimate. It definitely still feels a little different, but you acclimate. Also, you can't whistle down here.
Why is that?
The air pressure is just enough to create kind of a thicker air.
Oh, wow. Oh, nothing.
I mean, barely.
That is so cool. I can't whistle anyway, but that's really cool. There's a reason.
Be right at home here, then.
Right. So, tell me more about this whole idea of saturation diving. I mean, we're kind of getting into that. The pressure is one thing, but nitrogen is another thing, right?
Yes. So a normal scuba dive to a depth of around 60 feet, you have about 60 minutes before you have on-gassed so much nitrogen that you need to go up to the surface so you don't get decompression sickness, or the vents it's called, where the nitrogen pumps out of liquid form into gas form and causes this decompression sickness through various symptoms like joint pain and other more serious
things. So there's like
things.
Nitrogen gas in your body that you
Exactly,
can, okay.
Yeah. And so what we're doing is saturation diving. We're fully saturated with nitrogen at this point. We cannot go up to the surface without decompressing first. So we're stuck down here, kind of stuck down here until we decompress. And that process for us is an 18-hour process of decompression, where we spend the first hour breathing pure nitrogen for periods of time, and they bring us they bring the pressure within the habitat up from what's equivalent to 60 feet to about 30 feet.
Okay, so you're in the habitat while this is happening. Okay.
In the habitat stays where it's at, but they change the pressure within the habitat to equal that of 30 feet underwater. Okay. And then they spend the next 17 hours bringing it from 30 to 0 feet.
Wow. So
it's incredibly conservative and incredibly slow, and my family was happy to hear that it was very safe.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then after that process, they drop it back down to ambient, around 60 feet, so that we can open that wet porch door and do a dive out.
just as if you had done a regular dive that day.
Exactly.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. That all makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Let me see. So so you talked about your ears popping with the pressure, but is there any kind of sense? Can you tell that you're saturated? Does it feel different?
Well, there are some other things that happen, like your sense of taste and smell. Apparently, everybody is a little bit smelly when they get done with their missions, but you don't notice it, which is, I guess, a good thing.
Yeah.
And you can feel like you're underwater at times when there's high surge or current, kind of. It will do like a very slight rocking infrequently. But other than that, it kind of just feels like you're in an RV.
Cool.
And yeah, there's not a lot of other stuff going on with saturation that you can feel.
Okay, so it feels like an RV, or it might feel a little bit like a spaceship. And
yes.
You've heard that NASA people have trained down there?
Yes, we just had an astronaut, Clay Anderson, come visit for about 45 minutes. He was down here some years ago for a NEMO mission, they're called. They're coming up on NEMO mission 18. Wow. So astronauts come here every year and use it as a training station because it so closely resembles their missions in space.
So just the size, like living in that small space with people.
And also the conditions out in the water, no gravity, kind of, or close to no gravity. And they're able to practice with the tools that they use and the procedures that they go through. It was really cool to hear him talk about it.
Yeah, is that going to be? Can people watch that conversation at some point?
Yes, definitely. I think it'll be up on mission-31.com. Probably in a couple of days. They run through that stuff and edit it and get it out as quickly as possible because everybody is eager to see it.
That's great. So I think I told you I solicited some questions from other people in my office here.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to run through a couple of them. Is there any amount of privacy on this little ship that you're on?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, is that tough? What's the toughest part about living on living underwater, living on this ship? I guess
it's I guess I'll just say it. So going to the bathroom was the biggest thing to wrap my head around because you actually go outside. There's a little gazebo, which is also our escape hatch. It's a separate little structure that is just got some legs and a little dome.
Okay, but it's also like a bucket, like you said, for this.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's some air in there, and you swim with your mask on from here to the habitat.
So you do get some privacy. That's good.
That is a little bit of privacy, right? Yeah.
When you most need it. And so you showed us, somebody asked, how do you sleep? You sleep on these bunks, I guess. And somebody else also asked if you can tell when it's night there. Does the sun set?
Yeah, that's a good question because the other day, yesterday, I think, it got really stormy out and it felt like nighttime. So yeah, you can tell when the sun is shining and it's not very cloudy. Okay. Clearly, you can tell daytime, nighttime.
Okay.
But when it gets cloudy out, it also feels eerily like nighttime too. And some of the more nocturnal animals start to come out, which I thought was really cool. Like there are these shrimp that tap on the habitat, kind of just like to communicate to each other. And they come out when the clouds come out, and at night as well. So I thought that was kind of cool.
So they respond to the light in their environment, not just the circadian rhythm.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. And so I saw Fabian making some hot chocolate, and you were drinking some tea earlier. What is eating and drinking like down there? It's not like in space, right? But it's got to be somehow different.
It is definitely different. I'll show you what we've been eating. We have dehydrated camping food, which isn't all that bad, actually. So it kind of comes like this. It's called Mountain House. People are probably familiar with it.
Oh, yeah.
So you just open that up. And this one's a breakfast skillet, for example. You open it up, and then we have a hot water feed right here. It's very hot, and it just goes directly in here, and we let it sit for a few minutes. And then it's pretty good food. Other than that, we have a bunch of snack food and stuff. You'll notice there's a lot of eating and stuff happening because you're burning a ton of calories down here in and out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you burn calories quicker too?
Yeah,
that
the
low?
sweet spot is about double.
Double.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the dehydrated food is just to save space, I guess.
Well, also, we have some limitations with how we can cook. So there is a microwave down here,
Okay.
and there's a very, very tiny fridge. But other than that, everything kind of has to be non-refrigerated and instant. So
You can't light a flame, I'm guessing.
exactly, yeah. Flame is the biggest thing, the biggest scare down here. So it's not that we have different breathing gas. It's just that the gas is at a different partial pressure. It's called. So our oxygen is at a higher pressure, in a sense, than at the surface, for causing potential for more flammable experiences, I guess.
Combustion or something. Okay, cool. I don't know. How much time do you have, first of all?
Oh, I can go. I'm actually pretty good. Oh, we do. Oh, the Northeastern divers are actually in the water right now.
Oh, this is great.
This is awesome. This is like perfect timing. Oh, there's Mark Patterson and his tech Sarah.
Oh my god, that is so cool.
Yeah, he recognizes you. That's fantastic.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
there's Brian Helmet.
Oh hey. They can't hear us though. That's so cool. So are they going to come in and say hello?
I don't think that they're going to be coming in right now.
That's awesome.
Mark's got an awesome new GoPro kind of handle. It's like a little GoPro gun there. And then, yeah, there's Allie. That's Brian's grad student.
Yeah, we wrote a story about her. And
Yes, you did. That's awesome.
That is so cool. So they're just getting down here after coming from the surface.
Yeah, so they came down earlier, and then they had to hop back up to do a surface interview. And, sorry, not a surface interview, a surface interval.
Okay.
Because they have the constraints of any sort of surface diver. They can only stay down for about an hour, or however long their tanks allow them.
Okay.
And, bye guys! They're gonna get to work. I'm sure they've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
So they go up and kind of off gas, it's called, for a while, and then put on a fresh tank, come back down for another hour or so.
Okay, cool.
So I saw them in the water when they were out. We were out between noon and about 3 o'clock.
Cool. So you said that yesterday you had your longest dive of your life.
Yes, it was so cool. It was 5 hours and 10 minutes.
Wow. So what was that like? I mean, and also I'm curious about these helmets. You put on this dive helmet, and somehow it like secures you to the seafloor, right?
Well, it secures you to the seafloor in the sense that it's really heavy.
Okay.
So it's about 40 pounds, a little less. And so you become negatively buoyant. And although yesterday there was a bit of current on my really long dive, so I ended up wearing a weight belt in addition to that, so I could be even more secured to the bottom. So I would have more give to walk across the bottom.
Yeah. You said it was like moonwalking.
It was like moonwalking, yeah. But with more weight, you're a little bit more normal walking, so you can kind of dig in a little bit in the sand and get where you need to go a bit quicker.
Okay.
But the dive was fantastic. I didn't get that cold. I did get cold after the fact. I guess I just didn't notice it initially. What else? Yeah, I did a lot of setup for the experiments that we have up and running.
Okay.
And one really cool part about the helmet diving is you can go out on your own. You don't need to have a buddy like you normally do with scuba diving, because you can communicate directly with the habitat and the surface, and they just will pull you back in via the tether, via your air source if there are any issues. So that part is pretty cool. So I was able to go out, and then Grace joined me after she got some stuff done, and we tag teamed the rest of what we had in there.
So yeah, you just can you probably have never just sort of been alone at the bottom of the seafloor before.
It's really true. I mean, it's just such a fabulous. I mean, even cooler than that is just the ability to not worry about how long you've been in the water.
Yeah.
That's always a concern when you're doing normal diving. That's for those guys that you just saw in the window. Yeah. It's like, oh, I got an hour, and then we got to go up, so then we have to wait an hour, and then we can go back down. I can't dive as much as I could dive down here because I just get too tired and cold. So it's just really cool.
Yeah, and I guess usually I've never dove before, but you probably are always like, oh, it's time to go up. You don't want to go back, and here you get to go until your wit's end, probably.
Exactly. Yeah, basically your wit's end.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So I want to talk a little bit about sort of like the motivation behind all of this, and why it's important for people to be able to live down there for a month, and what is it that you guys are contributing to? What is the significance of this kind of mission?
Mark Patterson is just such an advocate for the Aquarius habitat. He's lived down here many times before, as has Brian Hellman, the other professor that you saw out the window, and the other, large contributor to our experience down here from Northeastern. And they both understand the importance of this as just it is the unique and only place that allows you to do the type of science that is basically impossible to do elsewhere, because we can stay down for so long.
Right.
And we're right there. There's no coral reef that is just right outside your doorstep anywhere else.
Right.
And without this type of place, we've only uncovered 5% of the oceans, and there's so much more to learn about. And without this type of place, that's not really possible. And so I think this project is really cool in that it has the ability to reach the masses, the people that don't know about oceans and ocean conservancy and how they can help out. And I think that's the most important part. Is we're doing really incredible science and different science, but we're also showing that science to as many people as possible. And that's something that doesn't always happen with science in general.
Right,
it kind of stays within its own realm.
Right. That is really cool. So bringing together people like Fabian and then researchers like Mark and Brian really makes that happen, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. I'm just so excited to participate in this. I mean, it is a very unique opportunity for me and totally a special once-in-a-lifetime event for me.
Yeah, cool. That is wonderful. I am super jealous. I need to learn how to dive first, and then maybe I'll get myself down to Aquarius.
I have some cool stats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's hear them.
There have been more people who lived in space than have lived underwater.
Okay.
And there have been about 350 people who have lived in the Aquarius habitat before. And only 22% of those people have been female, which is pretty low. And so I'm really excited that both Grace and I are able to participate in Mission 31 because we're up in that percentage and representing females in science. Yeah,
cool. And so Grace and you are Northeastern's Aquanauts, right? The rest of the Aquanaut team are also male, right?
So Grace just graduated from MIT, so she's kind of she's her own representative.
Okay.
And then before Grace and I came down, we had two graduates from Florida International University, Andrew Shantz and Adam Zanone. But I've known Andy Shantz for about 5 years because he did the 3 Seas program when I was working for it. So, so he has some Northeastern ties as well.
Cool.
And definitely got his scientific diving start at Northeastern.
Yeah, neat.
And then we have a lot of help from the Navy, and they're the ones that bring down all of our gear and coordinate with Aquarius faculty or Aquarius staff to make things happen.
Cool. Back to the stat about NASA. Why is it that there's funding? There's all sorts of reasons, but what is your take on that real huge discrepancy between space exploration and underwater exploration?
I don't really know because they both require extensive amounts of both funding and work to make happen. And
it's policy, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure why there's such a large discrepancy. I think, there was a period of time where space exploration was a major focus for so many nations, whereas the ocean it waxes waxes and wanes in its importance. Unfortunately, I wish it was a main focus for everybody, but hopefully this kind of event like Mission 31 will make it more of a priority for everybody.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for doing that and for doing this conversation with me. This is so cool. I love it. Thank you. Anything else you want to say, like hi, Mom, or something? I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Have you talked to your mom?
Hi, Alex, my husband Alex. He's, nervously watching the live feed every day, asking me how I'm doing, make sure I'm being a safe diver. It's such a great experience, and I'm just grateful to Northeastern for supporting me and allowing me to do this.
Cool. Thank you. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your mission. I hope to get to talk to you when you come back up and hear how it all went.
Sounds perfect. Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.